You wake up tired. You go through your day feeling drained. You collapse into bed at night wondering why nothing ever changes. And here's what kills me. You're working hard. You're trying. But something invisible is holding you back. It's not your lack of effort. It's not your intelligence. It's not even bad luck. It's the quiet things. The silent assassins living in your daily routine that you don't even notice anymore. The toxic habit disguised as comfort. The person you keep around out of guilt. The thought pattern you've normalized. Today, we're exposing all 15 of them. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what needs to go. Look, I'm not going to tell you to quit your job, move to Bali, or completely reinvent yourself by Monday. These aren't dramatic changes. They're quiet eliminations, small removals that create massive space for the life you actually want. Honestly, some of these will sting a little. You might recognize yourself in ways that make you uncomfortable. But that discomfort, that's growth knocking on your door. So let's do this. Here are the 15 things you need to quietly eliminate from your life starting right now. 1. Apologizing for existing. You're in a meeting. Someone interrupts you. And what do you say? Oh, sorry, I was just... You bump into someone who walked into you. Sorry. You have a need, an opinion, a feeling. Sorry for bothering you, but... Stop. Stop apologizing for taking up space in a world you have every right to exist in. This habit doesn't make you polite. It makes you invisible. It trains people to see you as someone who's always in the way. Here's what you do. Catch yourself. Every time sorry is about to leave your mouth, ask, did I actually do something wrong? If the answer is no, replace it with thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for listening. You're not being rude. You're reclaiming your space. 2. People who only call when they need something. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Your phone lights up with their name and your stomach drops because you already know. They need a favor, money, emotional labor, your time. But where are they when you're struggling? When you need support, when you just want someone to talk to. These people aren't friends, they're vampires, and you've been donating blood for free. Here's the play. Stop being available. Don't make announcements. Don't send farewell messages. Just become mysteriously busy every time they reach out. Let the relationship die from natural causes. Real friends show up for you without being asked. Everyone else is just using you as a resource. 3. Comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. You're scrolling Instagram. Someone just bought their dream house. Someone else just got promoted. Another person is on their 3rd vacation this year. And you're still trying to figure out how to save money for next month's rent. That feeling in your chest? That's comparison stealing your joy. Here's what social media doesn't show you. The years of failure before the success. The debt behind the vacation. The mental breakdown that came before the promotion. You're comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. Delete the apps. Or at least limit them to 15 minutes a day. And here's the big one. Start celebrating your own small wins. Paid a bill on time? Win. Worked out once this week? Win. Got out of bed when depression told you not to? Massive win. Your journey is yours. Stop measuring it with someone else's ruler. 4. The need to be liked by everyone. You change your opinion based on who's in the room. You laugh at jokes you don't find funny. You stay quiet when you want to speak up. All because you're terrified of being disliked. And you know what's crazy? You're exhausting yourself trying to be liked by people you don't even like. The need for universal approval is a prison. It keeps you small, agreeable, and completely forgettable. Eliminate this need. Not by being rude, but by being honest. Share your real opinions. Set boundaries. Say no without explaining yourself. Some people won't like you. Good. Those aren't your people.
The right ones will love you for who you actually are, not the performance you put on. You're not for everyone. And that's your power, not your weakness. 5. Waiting for the perfect time. You're waiting to start the business until you have more money. Start the workout routine until you have more time. Start the relationship until you're more confident. Here's the truth. There is no perfect time. Perfect is a myth you hide behind to avoid the discomfort of starting. Because starting is scary. Starting means you might fail. Starting means people might judge you. Starting means you have to be vulnerable. So you wait. And while you're waiting, years pass. Opportunities vanish. Life happens to you instead of for you. Eliminate the word when. Stop saying, I'll start when. Start saying, I'll start with what I have right now. Start messy. Start small. Start scared, but start. Because imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time. 6. Toxic positivity. Wait, what? Positivity is toxic? Not all positivity. Just the kind that refuses to acknowledge reality. The good vibes only culture that makes you feel guilty for having normal human emotions. You're going through something hard, and someone tells you, just think positive, everything happens for a reason. And suddenly you feel worse, because now you're not only dealing with your problem, you're also feeling bad about feeling bad. This isn't healing. This is emotional suppression with a smile. Eliminate the pressure to be happy all the time. Feel your feelings. Be sad. Be angry. Be confused. Sit with discomfort instead of running from it. Real positivity comes after you've processed the negative, not by pretending it doesn't exist. You're allowed to not be okay. That's not weakness. That's being human.
7. Overthinking every single decision. Should I send that text? What if they think I'm annoying? But what if not sending it makes them think you don't care? Maybe I should wait. But what if waiting too long is weird? 3 hours later, you still haven't sent the text. This is overthinking, and it's stealing your life one decision at a time. Your brain thinks it's protecting you by analyzing every possible outcome, but really, it's just paralyzing you. Here's the rule. If a decision takes less than 10 minutes to fix if you're wrong, make it in less than 10 seconds. Send the text, order the meal, wear the outfit, take the photo, apply for the job. Most decisions aren't as important as your anxiety makes them feel. And the ones that are, you'll figure them out as you go. Stop thinking your way through life, start living your way through it. 8. The highlight reel you show the world. You post the vacation photo, but not the fight you had an hour before. You share the success, but not the failure that came before it. You show the smile, but hide the tears. You're curating a version of yourself that doesn't exist. And here's what happens. The more you perform this perfect life, the more trapped you feel, because now you have to maintain the illusion. You can't show weakness, you can't admit struggle. You become lonely in a crowd of people who think they know you. Eliminate the performance. Share the messy parts. Talk about your failures. Admit when you're struggling. Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the only way to build real connections with real people. The right people won't love you less for being human. They'll love you more. 9. Holding on to grudges. Someone hurt you years ago, and you still think about it. You rehearse the argument. You imagine what you should have said. You feel the anger rising every time their name comes up. And them? They've moved on. They're living their life. They probably don't even remember what happened. So who's really being punished here? Holding a grudge is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. You're carrying their weight while they walk free. Eliminate the grudge. Not for them, for you. This doesn't mean forgive and forget. It means release and move forward. You don't have to reconcile. You just have to let go. Write it out, say it out loud, do whatever you need to do, but stop letting someone who hurt you years ago control your peace today. Forgiveness is the gift you give yourself.
10. Busy as a badge of honor. I'm so busy. I'm swamped. I have no time. Well, let me ask you something. What are you actually busy doing? Are you building something meaningful, or are you just filling your calendar with noise to avoid facing what matters? Our culture worships busy. We equate it with importance, with success, with value, but busy is often just a distraction from the fact that you're not making progress on what actually matters. Eliminate busy work. Audit your calendar. Ask yourself, is this task moving me toward my goals, or is it just keeping me occupied? Say no more. Create white space. Protect your time like it's the most valuable resource you have, because it is. 11. Consuming more than you create. You scroll for 3 hours, you binge watch an entire season, you read every article, watch every video, absorb every piece of content. But when was the last time you made something? We've become a society of consumers, not creators. We take in so much information that we'd never process it. We're full, but never satisfied. And all that consumption, it's making you feel inadequate because you're watching everyone else live while you spectate. Eliminate mindless consumption. For every hour you consume, create for 15 minutes. Write a paragraph, draw something, record a voice note, build something with your hands, share an idea. It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be seen by anyone. It just has to be yours. Because creating gives you agency. Consuming keeps you passive. Choose agency. 12. Living for someday. Someday you'll travel. Someday you'll start that hobby. Someday you'll tell them how you feel. Someday you'll chase that dream. Someday. The most dangerous word in the human language. Because someday never comes. Someday is where dreams go to die. Every time you say someday, you're giving yourself permission to delay living, to stay comfortable, to avoid risk. But here's what nobody tells you. Someday isn't guaranteed. Tomorrow isn't promised. Life doesn't wait for you to feel ready. Eliminate someday from your vocabulary. Replace it with today, or this week, or at least by this date. Book the trip, sign up for the class, send the message, take the leap. Because the biggest regret you'll have isn't the things you did and failed at. It's the things you never tried. Stop living in someday. Start living in today. 13. The belief that you're behind. Everyone else has it figured out. They're ahead. They're successful. They're winning. And you're behind. You're late. You missed your chance. No, you're not. Life isn't a race with a finish line where everyone arrives at the same time. There's no behind. There's just your path. The woman who started her business at 50 isn't behind. The man who went back to school at 40 isn't late. The person who found love at 35 didn't miss their chance. They're exactly where they need to be. And so are you. Eliminate the timeline. Stop measuring your life against arbitrary milestones that society created. You're not behind. You're on your own schedule. And that's exactly where you should be. Your time is now. Not because you're catching up, but because you're finally starting. 14. Relationships that feel like work. You have to rehearse what you're going to say, you walk on eggshells, you constantly worry about their mood, you leave every interaction feeling drained. That's not a relationship. That's a hostage situation. Real relationships shouldn't feel like constant work. Yes, they require effort, but effort and exhaustion are not the same thing. If being around someone consistently makes you feel worse about yourself, that's not your person. Quietly eliminate these relationships. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing your peace. And I know what you're thinking. But I've known them for so long. But they need me. But what if I hurt them? Here's the truth. You're already hurting yourself by staying. And loyalty to someone who drains you isn't loyalty, it's self-abandonment. The right people energize you. They make you feel seen, safe, and celebrated. Keep those, release the rest.
15. The story you tell yourself about who you are. I'm not a morning person.
I'm bad with money. I'm just not creative. I'm shy. I'm lazy. Are you? Or is that just a story you've been telling yourself for so long that you started believing it? We all have narratives about who we are, and those narratives become self-fulfilling prophecies. You tell yourself you're bad with money, so you don't learn about finances. You say you're not creative, so you never try. But here's the secret. You're not a fixed thing. You're not a finished product. You're constantly evolving. The person you were 5 years ago, not you anymore. The person you'll be 5 years from now, you get to decide. Eliminate the old story. Write a new one. Not with words, but with actions. Want to be a morning person? Wake up early. Want to be good with money? Learn one thing about it today. Want to be confident? Do one thing that scares you. Your identity isn't who you've been, it's who you're becoming, and you get to choose that, right now, in this moment. You are not stuck. You are not defined by your past. You are not limited by the story you've been telling yourself. You are whoever you decide to be, starting today. So there they are. The 15 things you need to quietly eliminate from your life. I know some of these hit hard. I know you recognized yourself in a few of them, maybe more than a few. And that's okay. Awareness is the first step. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. But here's what I want you to do right now. Before you close this video, before you move on to the next thing, pick one. Just one thing from this list and commit to eliminating it this week. Delete the app, set the boundary, let go of the grudge, change the story, take the first step. One thing, that's all. Because one small elimination creates space. And in that space, something new can grow. You don't need to overhaul your entire life by tomorrow. You just need to start removing what no longer serves you. And I promise you this.
And if you want more simple ways to grow, subscribe to The Creative Shift. This is just the beginning.